Suya. Good morning, Lagos.
Good morning.
Whoever said that Suya must be eaten at night
I don't know.
should flog the person.
Join us in the conversation by sending us messages through WhatsApp to 08094440981. And if you want to send a message through Twitter, please use that hashtag lockerroom981.
981. Also, we're streaming live on YouTube, so just search for us on youtube.com, search Smooth 98.1 FM, and you can send your messages via that platform as well as watch what's going on live in the studio.
All right, so five-time world champions Nigeria became the first African team to book a 2019 FIFA Under-17 World Cup ticket after a 1-0 defeat of Angola in Dar es Salaam yesterday. Olakunle Olusegun earned a ticket for the tournament semi-finals and to Brazil 2019 when he hooked a 21st minute penalty to the roof of the net with Angola's goalkeeper Giovanni stranded. The win means that the Eaglets return to the FIFA Under-17 World Cup after missing out of the last edition staged in India 2 years ago. Nigeria will certainly finish at the head of Group A if they will avoid defeat against Uganda at the same venue this Saturday.
Yes. This team hasn't really given me a lot to hope for.
Why?
So qualifying for the World Cup, yeah, we applaud you, but it's not a team that the first game was in as much as Nigeria won that game, it was a question of how shoddy the goalkeeper was and how the defense was. And this second game, it was a lack of, would I say, creativity, because they had possession, but somewhere in the final third there was no idea on how to work it out. So I'm looking at this team and I'm not very hopeful. And again, it reminds me of what the coach said when this team was getting formed. We don't know when we are going to do an MRI. I think we'll do an MRI tomorrow. Then after we do our MRI, we'll know which team we are going to take for the competition. So you can imagine a team that they didn't even know what the team was going to be a month to the championship. They are performing like that. Yeah. So it's not a very, you watch it and you're like, yeah, we won. But not very hopeful. No.
But you know how we like to celebrate the
You're just celebrating the results. You're not really, you don't want, if you get into the detail. If you get into the detail, you might not like the pudding. But so
let's hold on to this.
Let's
hold on to this win.
Yes, we do. Right, so going on to tennis, Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal raced into Monte Carlo quarterfinals. Champion Rafael Nadal and top-ranked Novak Djokovic turned in impressive displays to reach the Monte Carlo Masters quarterfinals yesterday. Nadal, chasing a record-extending 12th Monte Carlo title, broke Grigor Dimitrov's serve on 4 occasions to defeat the Bulgarian 6-4, 6-1. Nadal said, "The first 2 rounds I played more than well enough to win. I had 2 confident scores against 2 good players. The second set, there were a little bit more mistakes and the win was even greater later in the match. These things are part of the game and just trying to be ready for it. You have to adapt, you have to find solutions."
Yes. So you look at Nadal's results against Dimitrov yesterday, it was 6-4, 6-1, but the match wasn't that. So you see that result and you say, oh, that was an easy one. But it wasn't like that. Actually, Dimitrov had more winners than Rafa Nadal and the same exact amount of unforced errors. The problem was when the unforced errors happened. So there'd been a rally and Dimitrov was missing out on all the big points where Nadal's unforced errors were coming maybe early in his service game or something else like that. So there were very close margins if you looked at the numbers. And if you watched the match, it wasn't as clear cut as the result makes it look like he crushed him, he crushed his soul, he'll never resurrect. No, that's not. The result is just telling you a big lie. This is the one you have to look into the detail, not that Nigerian match. You have to look into the detail here. So yes, it's a convincing result, but even Nadal, the way he talks after his press conferences, you can tell that he's not very happy with his game. His service games, he was not very happy with, especially in the first few in the first set, and the second set, a few mistakes, like he said. So he's working his way to building a momentum. He's won this 11 times. So you have to understand that when he comes to Monte Carlo, he expects to go away with the trophy. So he doesn't want to lose here, and to have a Novak Djokovic who lives here. Does he live here? Yeah. It's that he lives in Monte Carlo and lives in Monaco. I don't know which one, what the difference is. But I mean, he also is good, has dominated in his own games. And then his next opponent is somebody he has beaten 3 times on the trot.
Wow.
And the person has never defeated him.
So why is it going to come back?
Exactly. So Rafael Nadal is playing every match with a look towards if I face a Novak Djokovic. So I have to cut out all the mistakes. I have to be very clinical in my service games. And that's why he doesn't sound too enthusiastic even after he wins a match.
That's interesting. What's more interesting is Big Baby Miller next. So who's more interested? Now, heavyweight contender Jarrell Big Baby Miller was denied a boxing license by the New York State Athletic Commission on Wednesday following his positive test for a banned substance. Miller was preparing to challenge Unified, our own world title holder, Anthony Joshua, on the 1st of June at Madison Square Garden in New York. But the commission released a statement on Wednesday, and it read thus: the New York State Athletic Commission has denied Jarrell Miller's professional boxing license application for a violation relating to the use of a prohibited substance. We have no further comment at this time. Drops mic.
I'm telling you. Okay, so this is what Anthony Joshua can make you do. I remember I was still trying to remember the guy. He actually did beat one of his opponents, even if that one failed the drug test after. So people are sniffing stuff just to get to Anthony Joshua. It's amazing.
That's interesting. They should just go and eat a bar.
You know when they see him turning a bar, they're just looking at that bar and he was turning it and said this way, but they don't know what they are turning, so they'll go and turn their own. But what it is with Big Baby Miller, the reason why this is a big deal is because this is the second time he's failed a drug test. So when you have that track record of having failed a doping test before, was suspended for 9 months there, and then you fail another one, even if he claims because he claims that he had done a test just the week before, and the samples came out clean, then you do this test and you fail, and you're asking for the B sample to be tested again. But what it is at the end of the day is you already have a track record of doping, and so it doesn't make you the first person that they are going to trust. And already June 1st is close, so Eddie Hearn is just looking for a replacement.
So let me ask, how many more times does he have to fail a doping test for him to be banned outrightly from the game, from the business, from the sport?
Again, that life ban thing has been looked upon as a harsh judgment. Like, I made one mistake, that you mean I should never recover? And I think that's what it is. That's why they don't ban athletes for life.
Because I'm a bit upset. I'm still thinking about the shove.
Yeah.
Forgive him.
But yeah,
has to be some of our people. All right, let's go on to football. We're back in the football world now. Klopp, I look forward to clash versus Messi. Thankful for time to prepare. Liverpool face a testing Champions League semi-final against Lionel Messi and Barcelona, but I've made a statement by reaching the last 4 for the second straight year and equipped to deal with the very best manager, Jurgen Klopp said. Now, Klopp said, thank God I don't have to think about that tonight, and thank God I have a few more nights to think about that.
Yeah, so Liverpool had a pretty much convincing performance against Porto. At no point in time did you think, oh, their lead was under any threat. But here's what happened to, here's what and so when that famous lineup, everybody's looking towards Liverpool versus Barcelona, what's going to happen, comes up, you have to ask the question. The first thing is, number one, if you put Klopp and Valverde on, I mean, if you're looking at both of them head to head, I'd say Klopp looks a better coach tactically than Valverde. Valverde just has a plan A. Throw Messi on the pitch and let them pass the ball.
One of the stories says they're facing Messi and
Barcelona because it's Messi, literally. So for Valverde, and sometimes when you have big players like that, you tend to do that because it's a quick fix, it's a cheat code. So
just throw them in.
Just throw them in. And so that's that on that head to head, you can see that they can win. And as a whole, if you look at the team of Liverpool, it's a better team all round than the Barcelona team. I'm not saying they're better players. I'm saying it's a better team. The way they line up, the way they play. Barcelona has more skillful individuals, but they're not a better team, if you ask me, as Liverpool. So if I'm looking at it from here, it looks like a fixture that Liverpool will come out on top. But I like the way Jurgen Klopp is saying that, you know what, I don't have to deal with this now. I have to win Cardiff tomorrow. Let me do Premier League first.
But one would think that the Champions League would be more important to him than Premier League.
Yes, but he doesn't have to play that Champions League match. I think the first leg is on May 1st.
Oh, all right. He has more
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Why am I worrying about it now? I have games this weekend.
Yeah.
And if I blink, Manchester City, that is vexing.
They are vexing.
Will take this title. So he has to focus on that. Yeah.
All right. Okay, then. We are not vexing, but we have to go on that break. When we come back, we'll continue with sports, looking at Man City, looking at a few other football news for this weekend. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Michelle.
This Mueller report, when they release it, the things that are inside. This Mueller report.
Somebody sent me the report. I didn't even know that was what they were sending.
The things that are inside. Sarah Sanders admitting that she lied about Comi's sack.
No, well, you know, this is going to be the most.
They can't.
So they already said they're not going to do it.
Because it's an American thing. They have to protect America, the image.
Yeah.
They can't remove
But
him.
guess what? They're going to vote him again for next term.
That'll be all right.
For a second term.
And the only reason why he's going to get a second term is because Democrats haven't put their acts together.
Yeah.
From the minute Clinton lost,
Yeah.
that's when they should have had somebody that was.
Yes.
But the party itself was not
What
torn.
do you think if Clinton ran against him now, would she win?
She still wouldn't, because Clinton did not lose because Donald Trump was better. She lost because she was Clinton.
Yeah.
She's not very likable.
I know why.
I don't know why. She's not very marketable.
One would have thought that, because she was the darling of America at one point when she was first lady.
No.
it'd be easy transition.
No, they just see her somewhere that was manipulative. If she left, she would have been wicked. If she stayed, she was manipulative. So damned if you do damned. There's just some people like that. Like I'm not the most likable person you'll meet. And I take it because I take it. Do you understand? I know people that you meet them and you like them. Yeah.
We have comments. Should we take comments?
Yeah, let's take. No, when I finish
Okay,
it,
after-
because I have to do Tottenham, Manchester City, and
Yeah.
the Kwesi.
And Kwesi, okay. So City is next.
Mm.
Hello to the 4 people who are watching on YouTube.
Hello. Good Friday. Please,
Good
where can we get
Friday.
suya?
You're not supposed to actually be eating meat today for many people.
Hey, yeah. Is that insensitive? I'm eating meat too. Jesus died for my sins. I'm sorry.
You're not supposed to be asking for suya.
Jesus died for my sins, darling. I'm already forgiven.
You are forgiven.
I'ma eat my meat. I'm sorry to all y'all who don't want to eat meat.
y'all.
I don't contest your faith. I don't contest your belief. I just want to have mine, which means I must eat meat today. It's just so sad. Mega Plaza, do you think they'll have meat this morning?
Ah, no, I don't. Many of them is at night.
Who gave them that idea?
Who eats? Who eats?
Do you know I'm not the
Suya in the
first? Do
morning?
you know how many people ask for suya in the
I
morning?
know, but they've not heeded to your call. They don't see it as necessary. Man, the advert is long.
I'm so tired, eh?
We left. Oh, we're almost done.
Ah, yeah, you're almost done. I still have to come out tomorrow morning. Tomorrow for Premier League.
Oh, how come you're the one doing it this time?
Well, not here. Somewhere else. I look forward to when I'll.
Amen. we're coming back.
Okay.
We all should be in love. Oh my guys, open. My mics are up. Well, you heard it from Sammy. Don't touch that dial. This is Smooth 98.1, the locker room 981 with Tega Supreme. Good morning again, Tega. How you doing?
I'm good.
Okay, so we're still talking sports. We've talked about tennis, looked at basketball, and we're still in football. If you want to get your comments in, you can please go ahead. It's 0809 444 0981. That's 0809 444 0981. You can also go onto Twitter and use the hashtag lockerroom981. We're live on YouTube, so you might want to be a part of the conversation in person in terms of looking at what's going on in the studio. All right, next story here. After all that, City face Spurs again with title pressure on. So little over 60 hours after the extraordinary Champions League drama, Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspur will face each other again at the Etihad Stadium tomorrow, this time in the Premier League. Now, Guardiola said we had to react, close time, same team, but don't think too much right now. Sleep as much as possible, and then we'll prepare for the game. He said we fought a lot, 9-10 months for the Premier League. It's in our hands, he said.
Yes, he's right. If they win all their games, there's nothing Liverpool can do. They're winning the league. The slippery slope in that is that they have Tottenham and they still have Manchester United to play. And so,
well, United haven't been on form like that.
Yeah, but when it comes to derby, it has nothing to do with form. You can't call me to. I mean, just ask Tottenham and Arsenal. Arsenal and Tottenham met when Tottenham was supposedly in form and Arsenal wasn't, and Arsenal won that tie. So you don't. A local derby, it has nothing to do with your resume. It's just two people fighting for bragging rights in the streets. And so that's where the trick is. And for a team that has fought and had seen the quadruple right in front of them, for them to have one of those trophies snatched away from them in the manner it was snatched away from them, it can be demoralizing and devastating and play an effect on the way they approach a game against Tottenham. They did win that game against Tottenham. It was 4-3, but they lost the war because they didn't do anything in the first leg. They lost that penalty. So I'd say this for Pep Guardiola, it would be important for him. I like the mindset that he's speaking. I don't know if that's how he's feeling or if that's how his team is feeling, but that's what he's speaking. If he could take that into Saturday's game as an early kickoff and just try to get all 3 points in, that'd be fantastic. I would say this about the game on Wednesday night. I would have cancelled Llorente's goal easy, because for me his hand did have a big part to play in getting that goal in the back of the net. As some people say, look, ball doesn't graze your arm and the whole muscle in your arm shakes. It's not possible. Some referees would give it, some referees wouldn't give it. But I'd say this at the end of the day, that if I were the referee at the center of the park and I went to review in VAR, I would have crossed off that goal. But one thing you shouldn't cross off is your challenge a free EPL match this weekend. So go take that your iPhone that you're holding onto, that you like to touch,
or your Android phone,
and just go to your app store, click on the cursor iFlix, download it so that you can watch your one free EPL match this weekend. And this was brought to you by Coca-Cola, the soft drink sponsors of the EPL.
All right, you heard that from Tega, so get watching, guys. All right, moving on, we will take a few more. We'll take some comments before we move on to our next story. Arsenal, you need to wait for this one. That's what we're touching on next. All right, so we have some comments on WhatsApp. Send your messages to 0809 444 0981. And we have a number of them. Dozier says.
Okay, Dozier, let's take Dozier's message first.
Good morning, people. Olegana, what happened to the attacking threat of Manchester United that you told us about some days ago before last night's clash? Even the clubs of Barcelona will whip the Lions of Manchester United any day, anytime. Indeed, Manchester United's problem is beyond what they think. Then we move on to Big T's comment.
All right, so Big T here says Man City was robbed for the second time in a row against Tottenham. Last night it was Sané's goal that was disallowed, and this time Lorraine's goal was upheld and Sterling's goal disallowed. What a shame for virtual assistant referee.
Many people are complaining about VAR. What do you think about it?
Okay, so because I still said it, VAR is down to the interpretation of the people that are in front of it. The monitor will only show you stuff, but it comes down to your interpretation.
Yes.
The same thing I thought about. So when the referee looks at it and says, "Oh, it didn't really influence that," then the referee can change his mind. Clear and obvious error, they have to check. But what the monitor will do is show you what happened. The monitor is not going to tell you how to decide.
Exactly. It shows you where you point to.
So it helps when it comes to offsides. And there's some things that are very clear. But there's some things like the handball that you still have to make a decision. How is the handball? Did he move his hand slightly? Was his hand? All those things that will still make you ask questions. That's still down to the human interpretation. VAR can change that, but I still like VAR because it has helped with a lot of goals. So if you ask me, sometimes it will not work for you, but most in general, like every technology, it will work for you.
Chukwudi here says, after City's UCL game, United must be like, if City defends like this on Wednesday, we might get a shot on target.
Now, I had to read someone's comment talking about Valentine's response to the Anthony Joshua and how you say So Charles Chidozie says, I like how Valentine emphasized on our own Anthony Joshua. Meanwhile, conspiracy theorists in some of quarters say Jaromila disqualification is a ploy from UEFA not to have the fight overshadow the UCL final.
I beg you should travel. It's baby Milan against Joshua that will overshadow you. Say how? In what plan? What reality?
Compared to
How?
All right, let's go on to our next story now. Arsenal in the news.
Unai Emery said Arsenal's impressive win in Napoli to seal a Europa League semi-final place proved his side can mix it with the best. After the game, Emery said, I'm very proud of the players, very proud of the work, because here I think we showed that we have the ability or the habits to play against good teams with good players and in big atmospheres have a lot of personality with our idea. We wanted to have more possession with the ball, he continues, keep more of the ball and control the match with the ball. We didn't do all I wanted, but the positioning in the first half, we were very good.
Yes, and I like the way they approach the game like an away team. They knew they were in Italy and they were not taking it for granted that just because we had the 2-goal cushion, we can just come here and beat the Arsenal at the Emirates. No, they struggled away, trying to win games away, so they knew that they were not very good travelers. And I think that's why they set up. I think that's why they set up the way they did. But bottom line, they got one goal from Lacazette, a wonderful free kick. Dirty free kick. You dirty, naughty Lacazette.
In a good way.
In a good way.
This is definitely a feel-good Friday locker room.
But you get that goal, and then from then on, they had just the extra advantage, and it played into their hands. So congratulations to Arsenal. Regardless of what happens, it looks like they're doing very well in Europa, and they're aiming for top 4. So right at this point in time, I don't know about tomorrow or next week, but at this point in time, it looks like a good season so far for Arsenal.
Amen.
Great season. All right, let's go on to your comments. Let's see what you're saying. Emmanuel from Ikeja is of the opinion that
He's of the opinion that ref again, he's not happy with him. He said it is him. That ref that officiated Nigeria versus Argentina.
Yeah, that's it.
I told you he's the blind hand to the ball, or the blind to handball. Okay.
He's blind to handball. All right, okay.
We'll take a break.
Take a break right now.
Let's come back and continue with the locker room here on Smooth 98.1. Stay with us.
What's going on with the oops, sorry.
So yeah, enjoy.
With the what's that? Is this computer the response?
Yeah, slow. Okay.
That referee always has something up his. It's not like he's wrong. Like he can find things in the law to make him right.
You go to Glover Court to Tega.
It's too early in the morning. They don't open by now.
We're streaming. So please stop advertising people.
I know they put it on there on YouTube. It's on our YouTube family that put it.
It's too early. They don't open.
No, they are open by 12 or 1 o'clock.
Okay, 1 o'clock. Will I be here till 1? You know that it's Easter, be people.
I love this. It's so funny. It's so funny.
There's no need to release the Mueller report because it's not like they're going to do anything about it. What happened between Sega and Obi Ezekwesili?
Who is Sega?
Sega Link.
Oh, let me see what happened. Is she tweeting about it?
I don't know. I just saw people saying Sega slot shamed Obi Ezekwesili, but I didn't see the tweet. He does know that her children are on Twitter. Her married children.
Well, our children married.
Isn't her son married? This is one of her sons married.
I didn't hear about that.
I don't know. Oh, Shirin, your son is quite... Oh, she had children early. All these my mates, their sons are now almost 20.
When's the last time that thing happened? That shouting match? Was it a month ago?
No, it was about 3 weeks ago. It's not 2 months ago.
Are you kidding? Are you writing an email?
Yeah.
When this thing is off, we'll have a conversation. You see, when I was saying about there's some people that are not just likable, they're people that are likable. You are one of those people that I hate.
Why?
You're those people that are very likable, like that. Yeah, do you understand? Like people
No,
don't.
not really. Some people.
I don't think so. If anybody doesn't like you, eh?
Did you guys hear that? Tega ever.
But I said I hated you.
So she's your problem.
Yeah. Are we back?
Yes, please. Studio's live. And just like that, we're coming to the end of the show. Locker Room 981 is brought to you by Tega Supreme.
I was waiting for who was about to them.
It's here on Smooth 98.1 on YouTube where we're streaming live. Wise Man says if Man City plays like they did on Wednesday, Spurs will be thrashed tomorrow.
And thank you, Gang, for responding to Tega's request.
Yes.
We're very grateful for faithful.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
Very last one, and touch on this very quickly because we have comments. Diego Costa refuses to train after being fined by Atletico. Atletico says Spanish media.
Yeah, so the guy is vexing. They've already banned him for 8 months, from 8 matches.
Yeah.
So he doesn't play till next season, and then the first game of the next season he's banned. People are now cutting his money. Like life is not hard enough for him. The guy was like, I don't need to train now. What's the point of training if I'm not going to be playing? And they're going to be fining me. Yeah, that's just sad.
Penalty.
All right, so more messages before we wrap it up. Let's take one message here. Chimubi Victor from Alaba International says, congratulations to my darling Arsenal for silencing most of the pundits who never gave them the chance against Napoli for this Valencia. We are going to destroy them home and away. Please, Tega, you need to give my Arsenal team a standing ovation.
No, how did they play though? Were they fantastic at play? Tega.
I agree with your mouse pad.
They didn't play fantastically yesterday.
Chukudi here says we have to talk about Ajax. That team that chefed up Madrid in their own yard, then said, "Where's your boy?" Wow. And that is the end. Special thanks to Tega Supreme for stepping in this morning. As always, you can find her up on Twitter at Tega Supreme and as at Allies International because she champions the cause of ladies in sports. Allies International, that's the handle. Lagos, for a Feel Good Friday, we'll have a very fun conversation that's waiting for you at 9 o'clock. Do well to call us then on 0144899981 so we can chat. Smooth breakfast with Ayo
And Valentine.